Welcome back to my Java game development tutorial, and today I'm going to show you how to play audio files, because audio files are the essential part of your game that makes the player feel like they're in the game. It's like the final effect that ties everything together and makes the game truly enjoyable. Now obviously the game that we're making is not that good. I mean, this tutorial is really just to show you guys how to do things. That way you can go out on your own and be creative and not stealing my creative ideas. So today since we're gonna work with audio files, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the different options that you have. Now, Java does not really have great support for audio. And if you don't already know this, then, well, you're really lucky, because obviously you haven't had to go to great lengths to try to get audio into your game. But this engine makes it extremely easy to work with OGG files, which means you don't have to use a WAV, which is extremely good because those are uncompressed audio files. You don't have to use an MP3, and in fact it doesn't give you support for MP3s, because we kind of figure that since we're giving you an OGG, you shouldn't use an MP3. And the reason why I say this is because MP3s are a little bit larger than OGGs, and you really want your game to be more compact. That way the people that will be downloading your game don't have to have like a large hard drive to get everything to go. But OGGs are very compressed and makes it a lot easier for people to download your game. But I guess I'll get started. This is really easy. It's going to be a really short tutorial. So the first thing you need to do is load your audio files. So we're going to open up our main package and go to our loading manifest, which I've done this like a million times, and we'll say public static string. We're going to call this background, and then the other one's success. It's really kind of a sound effect. So then we're going to load these, which is pretty easy. And really, when we do this, we are using the OGG manager. And the OGG manager is completely separate from the loading manifest. And because OGGs are so much different, we're not actually loading it right now. We're going to say add OGG, and then we're going to say background. And then we need to do our path. So before I do my path, I'm going to open up my references, my locations, and I'm going to go in here and say public static string, I don't know, audio equals res plus, what's it? I think it's just audio slash, yeah. And if that's not how you set everything up, then you can do it your way, although mine's a little bit better. And we'll say audio plus background OGG. Now this is a string that we're going to define up here. This is not the path. This is just a string that represents the file, and this is what you're going to call to be able to access the file later on. And it really does not, I guess it really does not matter what you type in here. That's sort of the reason why we're making this reference now. It just makes things easier later on. Now, the OGG manager does provide support, so you can play two sounds at the same time without one like interrupting the other, which is really nice if you're someone who has more experience with Java and you realize how hard it is to get that done. It to actually play two sounds at once, you can really appreciate this. But if you don't have that experience, just consider yourself lucky. So when we do this right here, like I said, we're not actually loading the files because OGGs work differently. They load as they're playing. And so, yeah, that's why I'm putting it in the init method. It's not going to slow down your loading speed because they're going to load at a different time anyways. So let's go ahead and add this to our menu because I'm just going to use this to get things started. And it's going to be pretty dang easy, like I said. We're going to say OGG manager dot play, and then we're going to say lm dot background, the reference that we used earlier. And actually, this is a really bad spot to put this. You don't want to call the play method like constantly, like the step method's going to get called. So that was a bad instruction. Put it right here. Let's move it up into our menu constructor. That way it starts playing after we have made our reference. So let's test it. And there's our audio. And so it works. You can hear the audio. It might be a little laggy actually, but it's not really too bad. But it's great. So when you notice when I hit the X button, I get these two little messages that we've been getting this whole tutorial series. All bit streams closed and all audio resources disposed of. What this means is that you have properly terminated the program because the audio streams are handled pretty much outside of our normal threads. We need to make sure that we close those before the program closes, and this means that we did that correctly. Now if you were to run this and then you were to close it with this button, you hear that nasty sound at the end, and then we also didn't get those messages. That's because we didn't close our audio files correctly. So when you start working with audio files, try not to hit that terminate button if you don't have to. That's one of the reasons why you can hit the X button on the J-frame. So let's use our other audio file. I'm starting to get low on time, and I'm just going to put this under the start button. So when the start button's clicked, we're going to say OGG manager dot play OGG, and we're going to say lm dot success. And if you listen closely, you can tell that the background, the success music is going to be played over the background music, but they're both still going to be playing at the same time. And so the song doesn't get interrupted, it just, you know, the two audio files get mixed together and so they play at the same time, which is actually a really cool feature to have. Because in Java, it's really hard to work with audio. Believe me. Okay, so now that we have that set up, I think that was all I was really going to talk about. If you guys are to make like some kind of Java application and you need audio files, you can still use the OGG manager. It's completely separate from the driver. So you could use this for any other project other than games, and you could use it for games if you wanted to, which I would suggest you do. But it's very useful. It's a very, very nice tool to have. But I think that's all I'm going to cover in this tutorial. And if you guys like my videos, make sure you subscribe and leave a comment down below. Maybe tell me what you think, or maybe leave a link to the computer game that you're making so I can test it out and see how cool it is and creative it is. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next time.